Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're here to talk about RF glass. Over the past few years, you've noticed that Canon, as well as other camera manufacturers, have focused their energy on RF mount technology. You might be among the many people who've reached out to us asking why should you switch over to RF, especially if you're already invested in EF lenses. Today, we're here to help answer those questions. We've enlisted the help of our friends Chris Ray and Martin Phobes. We've handed over a couple of the most popular RF lenses, as well as the R5C. They're going to put those through their paces in the fast-paced world of skate filming. Without further ado, here's Chris and Martin.
Hey, what's up guys? My name's Chris Ray.
And I'm Martin Phobes.
And we're with Motion Clubhouse. So we're with Filmtools at the Brea Skate Park, a brand new remodel park. We're gonna be filming our friend Devin today. We've got a couple new pieces of gear that they sent us. They sent us a few RF lenses, the Canon R5C. We're super excited to try it out. So we usually use EF lenses, right? We're big Canon C70 users. RF is pretty new to me and to you.
Yeah.
What are some things that you know about this lens?
This lens, I mean, this is the first time I'm using it today, and it is probably 2 inches smaller, 2 inches shorter than the previous 7200 that we used. So another cool thing about RF lenses is they actually improve the data communication. There's actually 12 pins versus 8 pins.
This is super important, especially when you're dealing with something like autofocus and you want it to be really quick and fast. When you're filming skateboarding, these guys are moving really fast, right? So Devin might get some shots where he's going across screen, left and right, but we're also gonna have Devin coming at us, which it's really hard to pull focus that quick. So we're gonna test out and see if the pins do help, if the autofocus is better, but let's also, while we're at it, compare the autofocus between the R5C and the Canon C70. The R5C, it's a camera that we've never used, but it has a lot of benefits, especially if you're a photographer and a filmmaker. So we're definitely like run and gun shooters, right? Shooting skateboarding. We're not always gonna be on tripod. We're doing a lot of stuff handheld. You'll see us rolling on our skateboards to get shots. So that's super important. The fact that this camera is super lightweight, it's compact, I'm excited to try that out. But we do shoot on this Canon C70 a ton, and so today I'm gonna be on the Canon C70 while Martin is on the R5C, because I do wanna test these RF lenses with the Canon C70, because that is the camera that we use the majority of the time. Okay, look, we can talk about these specs all day long, but what's important is actually seeing the results. Let's go skate.
Let's do it. So another really cool thing about the RF mount system is the flange distance. And the flange distance is basically the distance from the actual mount to your sensor. Since it's so shallow, that means you can pretty much adapt to any other lens mount there is. So it's basically endless, the amount of adaptions you can do. You zoomed with it too, huh?
Yeah,
I look tan,
yeah, the
too.
zoom feels good. I'm really loving the zoom lens. This 28-70 is wild. It's not common that you get a zoom lens like this where you're able to shoot at such a fast speed. The previous version was an f2.8 and now this one's an f2. That actually makes a huge difference in the shots that I'm able to get. Yeah, having a lens like this, it's a good zoom lens. It's good to have in action sports because you never know where the guy is going to fly and land. So I want to be able to have that option to zoom in, but the zoom feels super smooth. Around the EF lenses, I feel like you kind of get like a little bit of a little jerky kind of move, you know, but the 28-70 is definitely, it feels very smooth. So when I'm rolling with too, like this is a very good size to where I'm able to kind of grip my hands on it and roll with the skater and be able to zoom at the same time. So I can just take off and kind of go. Feels good.
So yeah, we're done skating. Should we test maybe some video portraits and test some autofocus things?
Yeah, let's test some autofocus. So we're gonna pull Devin out of the skate park. Let's get some some shots, some portrait shots. Let's test just some stuff going into the lens. Also take advantage of trying to test, is the C70 or the R5C faster with autofocus? Because that's something we're really curious about.
For sure. It's grabbing his face right there, and go for it, Devin.
All right, so we just did a ton of tests. Everything felt really good. Devin killed it. We got a lot of awesome tricks. What did you think of the R5C?
R5C was great, especially on being in a sunny skate park like this. Having the eyepiece right here was key, just to be able to see what I was shooting.
Yeah, there was definitely some moments where I was filming Devin and I was using just my monitor, and I was wishing I had an eyepiece because I couldn't see. The glare was like really bad and the sun was right in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I was definitely wishing I had a situation like you did.
I mean, I think another cool thing about today is this is the first time I'm using this camera, and I'm coming from the C70, and I had a bunch of older, like, you know, I've been using Canon for like the last 10 years. So I felt like right at home with this camera. There wasn't too much of a learning curve. And actually the layout and the menu is very, very similar to the C70. So it was great. It's basically like you flip it to video and you got a C70, you flip it to photo and you got an R5. So
yeah, that's huge. I saw that you were doing a few burst photos, which was really cool, and it was instant. You were able to just flip over instant. So I think anybody that's looking for a camera to where it's like you do video, you do photography, I think that that's a huge, huge advantage of the R5C. Now, using the lens, this was our first time using RF lenses. I generally noticed while using the lenses, everything looked much cleaner, sharper. It just looks like a very good lens to just have in general in your kit, right? I mean, you're very much a lens guy, right? You own 50 plus lenses, all different styles, old, new. Like, where does this fit in perfect for the type of shooter?
This is a perfect upgrade from the EF line. If you're familiar with that line, like this is a great, you can basically go out and shoot anything with these lenses. Great autofocus, they're full frame, they're fast, they're sharp. Everybody needs to have a lens of this, I guess, caliber, like in their kit, you know?
It definitely seems like, I don't want to say it's future proof, because I don't think anything is future proof in a sense. I mean, I'm sure at one point they never thought EF lenses were going to go away, but you are seeing other companies use RF mounts, right? You are seeing that it's trending that way, where it's not just like a one-off company thing where it's like, oh, only Canon is making these RF mounts. Like, yeah. you have a Komodo.
I have a Komodo and a Red Raptor, and they're both RF mounts. So they're planning ahead for RF to be here and RF to stay, you know?
Yeah, I think I would say the one thing I'm bummed about but excited about is that I'm probably gonna have to buy some RF lenses now, seeing how clean they are, yeah, and how quick the focus was, right? So like we threw the lens on both the C70 and the R5C, and we did a focus test with Devin walking towards the camera, and we thought it was gonna be more based off the camera, that the R5C was gonna grab that quicker. It was pretty close, right?
I could bear, there was only like one pass where I could maybe tell a difference, that the C70 was just a little slower, but they were almost identical. Yeah, it was really hard to tell a difference.
I think in general, the RF lenses are just faster. Like we said, they have those 12 pins. It's closer to the lens. Communication is cleaner. It makes sense.
So a huge thank you to Filmtools for letting us test out these lenses and the R5C. It was a great test. The footage looks amazing. But let us know what you think of everything in the comments.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, reach out to us at Motion Clubhouse and reach out to Filmtools. They definitely have all the answers to your questions. Thanks again for watching. Keep filming.